The Virtual Boys have been playing Nintendo since they were little. These many years of experience have made them experts in the field, or at least they think so. Join them this week as they talk about battling with silly rabbits and making sure you have enough memory for your Switch. You're listening to the Virtual Boys Podcast, a Nintendo podcast about Nintendo things by Nintensity. This podcast is done by four friends that talk about anything and everything Nintendo. Check out the website at nintensity.com and be sure to follow us on social media. Be sure to subscribe and share the show with your friends. Oh, of course, enjoy the show. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Virtual Boys Podcast, a Nintendo podcast about Nintendo things. This is episode 67, and I'm your host, David. You're so not worth the hassle.
Your princess is in another castle.
Mushrooms won't end the pain.
Time for the Phantom to start his reign.
That was beautiful, guys. There's a beautiful applause in the background.
I felt a chill in the air.
Such a good part of the game. Oh my gosh.
That was James, and then Skylar, and then Jordan in order. So you can go back and listen to our beautiful voices if you need to figure out which one of us is which. Anyway, thanks for joining me again this week, guys. Sorry I wasn't here last week. I was at band camp. No video games for me, basically, the whole week because I've been moving in, had band camp all day, and all that other stuff. But I'm back. So, if you couldn't tell from that intro, if you haven't played the game, we're going to talk about Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle for a good chunk of today. We're going to give our reviews of the game and other such discussion about the game, since we talked about our impressions last week about it. We'll also talk about the SD card controversy, and maybe we'll touch on some other fun little tidbits as we get going. But before we start, we just want to remind you to check out our Patreon page. These episodes are still going up early as a reward for those that support us. You can check us out at patreon.com/Nintensity. And of course, if you want to talk about this episode, feel free to join our Discord community by visiting ninten.city/Discord. Let's jump into our Mario and Rabbids review. So, I haven't played any of the game, so I'll let the other three basically talk about the game and give their reviews of it, and maybe chime in with a couple of my questions. Right. I think, however, since you guys talked about this last week, I want to know what's the best part of the game. We could start there.
Well, I want to first start off saying that last week I think I was a little unfair to the game because now that I've played through the whole thing and it's sort of like settled in and the shock factor is gone, the game is really, really good. Yeah. It's a lot better than what I was making it sound to be last week, I think.
Yeah.
As for my favorite part of the game, it's still this part that the whole reason why I bought the game going into it, it's the Phantom battle against the other Phantom.
I mean,
the opera.
That it's just it's so hard to beat that
highlight, man.
And that's past halfway through the game.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean that the rest of the game lags behind it, really. There's all these great moments, but that one is really good. To pick something else, this is a little more broad. I'd have to say I've never enjoyed Rabbids ever. Like, they had that TV show that was just obnoxious, and all their games I've hated.
Just for a different age demographic.
Yeah, a lot of farts, a lot of poop jokes. That's
just slapstick humor for kids.
Right, slapstick humor. However, I find that these Rabbids, even some of the Rabbids that are just around in the overworld, are very charming. I mean, especially the Super Mario Rabbids. Rabbid Peach, Rabbid Luigi, Rabbid Mario. They're all great.
I think Rabbid Yoshi was my favorite from.
Rabbid Yoshi's insane.
Yeah, he's insane.
He's just mentally unstable, I swear.
when he like walks away from the well and then turns back and starts shooting it again.
That was
Well, he has
great.
the Gatling gun kind of thing, and just like starts rapid firing at the thing in the well.
I really like Rabbid Yoshi, but Rabbid Mario is my favorite. Like I just love his just like I am the macho man kind of statue.
It's like a hit.
He's just like
it's so great.
No man, he's like kissing his biceps.
He has a straw.
He's got a straw and a banjo.
It's a toothpick, man. He's not a hick. He's like
okay, a toothpick. That's still
he's still pretty hick, man.
Nah,
he's like,
man.
And then he has like no shirt with overalls.
Yeah, dude.
Maybe he is going for the hick. I feel like he's more of like the macho man because he like kisses his muscle. He's like, man,
that's a hick thing to do too.
Kissing your muscle? That's not a hick thing.
Yeah, it is.
I don't know what hicks you mean.
Dude, hicks also crush apples with their bare hands.
All right. Well, moving on. I think Rabbid Mario is probably the funniest. I just like his just whole demeanor, and he eats pizza, so that was pretty.
Yeah, cool. My favorite is Rabbid Luigi, just because he has like demonic vamp whenever he kicks somebody. That sound effect is gold. I love.
Well, yeah, I think strategy-wise, Rabbid Luigi is by far the best Rabbid.
Oh, he's so good, so good.
I don't use them that much. I mostly use I mostly use Peach Rabbid and Mario Rabbid.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
because I thought Rabbid Peach was super outclassed by the end of the game by everyone else.
Yeah, by the end of the game, my team was Luigi and Rabbid Luigi. Hands down. Sometimes I touch Rabbid Peach. The other Mario characters aren't worth it because Luigi just blows them out of the water because he gets a 3 times Overwatch ability.
Yeah.
And that's the most broken thing in the entire game.
Yeah, I love that ability. I use Luigi a lot. Sometimes I'll use Peach, depending on the type of mission it is. Like Escort, I always use Peach when I have an Escort mission just because she's very valuable in that. But yeah, for me, it's when it comes to Rabbids, I'm usually using Rabbid Peach or Rabbid Mario. I just find them extremely useful.
That's just so interesting because I don't think Rabbid Mario is actually that good. His range is just not there, and range is the most important thing in this.
Well,
game.
And that's the thing. It just all depends on who I'm fighting, what kind of enemies I'm fighting. Like if I'm fighting a bunch of heavy hitters, or if I'm in a small map, which sometimes happens, I can get Rabbid Mario into a certain place, make everybody come towards him, and then make sure all my guys are out of place and they've done their attacks or whatnot, and then I fire with his kind of I don't know what you could, not a shotgun, but it's very much a blaster kind of move. Yeah. And if you have like are they the smashers? Is that what they call it? When if you hit them, they move towards you, or whatever. If you do that with Rabbid Mario, and then you have the what's the move called where if they move, you shoot them?
The sight.
Yeah.
It's the Overwatch ability.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like there's like some strategy there that I've been implementing that I've found works fairly well.
Yeah, I don't know.
I haven't had too much trouble getting perfects. So
I've been going for perfects this entire time, and just being able, Luigi and Rabbid Luigi and the Yoshis are the fastest characters, and having speed and range is by far the most useful tool out of everything because you can kill the most enemies in a single turn. Like most maps, I kill everyone in the first turn.
Oh, hey, I do too, actually.
But what the goal? And so,
well, I won't say most maps, but I do sometimes kill them in the first turn.
Because with Rabbid Luigi, you get double vamp, 160 damage off that immediately, and then all of your other units then get vamp off of that. So there's your healer right there. His speed is 8, I believe, maxed out, and then he has stone damage, which is the best effect of them all because it prevents your enemies from being able to move or attack.
Yeah, stone damage is pretty good.
And then he has the rocket launcher, which also has push damage. So if there's like an enemy hiding behind cover, you can just hit them anyway, and then they'll go flying and they'll trigger all the Overwatch abilities.
That's true.
I think my team was Peach, Rabbid, Luigi, and Mario. Just because you have to have Mario. I like Peach just.
I don't know. I thought Peach was kind of underwhelming.
She has everything.
I like Peach.
She has so much AOE, and she has the sight ability, and she can heal people. It's ridiculous.
But she only has one oversight ability. She doesn't get to use it 3 times like Luigi.
It recharges every other turn, though.
Yeah, but so does Luigi's.
Does it?
Yeah, if you
max it out.
if you max it out, it does.
And you get 3 times with Luigi. You get ink damage, and the range is like twice that of Peach, and he's twice the speed.
I guess I just didn't like his low HP. Peach is a tank.
Yeah, that's
just don't get
that's
hit.
like the only
Peach
the
is
only
tank.
Yeah, Peach is a tank.
Peach is a tank.
The only problem,
honestly,
with
if I
Luigi
could
is the
though,
low health.
I would do Mario, Luigi, Yoshi as my team.
Oh yeah.
Just maximize on Overwatch abilities.
Yeah.
It's a pretty great.
Because it is by far the most broken ability. You can kill so many units, especially with some of the later missions and the ultimate challenges where you have to fight like 20 bosses on the same map.
Holy Hannah! What the?
So there's ultimate abilities or ultimate challenges after you beat the game. And so they'll throw every single boss in the game onto the map.
Oh my gosh.
Sometimes multiple times. And you don't really want AoE effect damage. You want range. That is the most important part.
Yeah,
because the bosses aren't going to be close to each other. You want to just be as far away from them as possible with the Overwatch ability.
But I think this kind of shows how diverse this game is. It has like no business being diverse. This like you could play the way you want or whatever, you know. And so, you know, we all kind of have different strategies, but we're getting through the game just fine. Or some of us has beaten it, I guess, already. So I think that's when you know you have a really good game.
I was really happy, for 2 missions from the end.
Oh, are we allowed to do spoilers? Can we do spoilers in this chat? This is the review.
Yeah, sure. If you want to, that's fine.
But James hasn't played it either.
It is no longer. Oh, yeah, James hasn't played, so maybe not.
Oh, dang!
Because
I haven't gotten to the end yet.
I was so
I'm in the last world.
Freaking happy.
Yeah, I know why too, but I guess we won't say why.
Took screenshots for days.
I was actually spoiled from it earlier, because I went on YouTube and someone had it as their thumbnail.
Oh my gosh! When that came up for me, I was like, "Oh my gosh, this is the best thing ever." Best.
So if you want to avoid spoilers, don't look up anything Rabbids on YouTube.
Seriously, don't.
People are being dumb and putting spoilers in the thumbnail.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe I already know then. Because I just was on YouTube, and like you said, people put thumbnails. It's not like I'm searching Rabbids, it's just pop-ups as a main feed. So maybe I already know, but just don't tell me anyway. It's fine.
Yeah.
All right.
I was just very pleasantly surprised. But yeah, this game was just a bunch of surprises, really. It's like they're just moments that are just come out of nowhere, and they're really awesome. Like the music is amazing. Grant Kirkhope did such a good job.
Such a good job.
Soundtrack. It's like, oh my gosh, this whole game is a masterpiece, and it really, from a Rabbids standpoint, it shouldn't be. but this game is just, they knocked it out of the park. It's almost like EA's like, yeah, or Ubisoft's like, here, have all the budget for this crossover. And then they did.
Which is interesting. Ubisoft actually didn't give it that much of a big of a budget.
Maybe it's just a labor of love then.
Yeah, Ubisoft has declared it's not a AAA game.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because it didn't get a AAA budget. It's a B game.
Yeah, it could just be a labor of love, though, because the guy was in tears when he got the...
Oh, yeah.
It really was.
Apparently, they've been trying to do this since 2010. Wow. It wasn't until 2014 that it got approved.
Holy cow.
Man.
Wow.
And can you imagine when the game got leaked, and then people were just kind of freaking out about it?
Yeah. The team that made this game said it scared them to death when it got leaked, and like the entire team was completely distraught because they were afraid that people weren't going to give it a chance.
Well, you know, give it a chance. I think I was still thinking about giving it a chance, but I was definitely kind of weirded out. Like, it was like, I don't know about this. And especially seeing Rabbid Peach taking a selfie, it was like really like, I don't know if I like this. Now I think it's hilarious, and it's probably going to be on my screensaver all the time. No, I'm just kidding. But
well, you'll enjoy the credits then.
Yeah,
oh
you,
yes.
you will. Yeah, I felt like the ending had a bit to be desired, just because I don't think it tied up very many loose ends, like at all.
Oh really?
Really? I don't even think there's like any plot.
Well,
I thought it was.
That was aside from the beginning. They didn't tie anything up from that.
I think it's whatever.
I mean,
it's non-canon. It's
Rabbids canon.
Yeah, it's Rabbids canon.
It's Rabbids canon, but who knows what that even means?
Everything is Rabbids canon. They've been everywhere.
Maybe they'll really finish the story in the season pass DLC stuff.
They did say it was going to add an extra story chapter.
I still haven't beat the game, so I can't say if I'll buy it or not.
I don't know if that's worth $20.
Right, it's hard.
They'll have to do something great, like throw in, I don't know, Wart or Birdo or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Make Wario and Waluigi DLC characters.
Yeah,
that would be
add them
great.
to your party with Wario Rabbid and Wario or Waluigi Rabbid or whatever.
That'd be cool.
No, I think for me, what makes this game so amazing is the way I feel when I play it. Like, yeah, it sounds kind of weird, but it reminds me of when I used to play games or like Mario Sunshine or Luigi's Mansion when I was younger, and I look back on it as like a lot of fond memories with those games, and this game kind of has that same feeling of I'm having so much fun with this, and I just want to keep playing, and I don't know, I really enjoy it. It kind of just brings me back to a childhood, even though I don't really have much experience with Rabbids to begin with, but it's just, I don't know, it feels like a great game, and I feel like this is a game that this generation will look back 10, 15 years from now and be like, wow, that was a really good game.
It's funny because for me, it's like I'm having so much fun with this game, and then I look at the game box, and I'm like, why am I having so much fun with this game? But I'm having so much fun with this game. Why is it so good? It's just an anomaly. It's like because nobody in their right mind, even like 2 years ago, before this was announced, would be like, "Oh yeah, Mario and Rabbids, that's definitely going to be a crossover." There's no way you could say that.
6 months ago.
Yeah, even 6 months ago, people were still denying the fact that it was leaked. But
yeah.
I mean, it's amazing. It's a really good game, and they did a really good job just mashing the two together. It feels like a nice cohesion. There's lots of detail just in the artwork itself. I had fun staring at the different Rabbids doing stupid things with the Mario stuff.
Yeah, I was like, why am I taking pictures of this? Why can't I control myself?
It's oh crap, trigger button, camera on the photo button, here we go.
Oh, I was just going to say, I am kind of disappointed with the second boss because every other boss in this game is so perfect for this style of game because it always has a Mario reference or something. Second boss, it's an original boss that isn't Rabbid or Mario. It's just kind of there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
That was probably my least favorite one. Yeah.
I feel like they could have done something else. I mean, yeah, it's massive, but I feel like they kind of missed an opportunity there, but whatever.
For some sequel boss ideas, I would love to see the angry son from Mario Bros. 3.
with a rabbit face?
Yeah.
That would be pretty funny.
That would be funny. So we've said a lot of praises about this. Yeah, I'm going to bring something that I actually found an issue, is that it doesn't seem like, or it needs a little more polish. Like, I kind of wish they would have maybe taken a little more time with it, although I still think this is a perfect time to release it.
Yeah, it feels like it was released due to, like, circumstance rather than it was ready.
Right.
Because I run into a lot of bugs. Right now, I currently have a bug going on where it does the coin sound like every 2 minutes, and I can't figure out how to stop it. I've even reset my system.
For me, you know what that sound was? It was that stupid rabbit clapping.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
I don't know if I don't know if that's in like the music track for this or Spooky Trails. Maybe it is, but like it's just like every 2 minutes it just goes like clap 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 clap. Oh my gosh, what is going on?
Mine does that too.
Oh, okay. So wait, is it part of the track or?
I think it's one of the Rabbid characters you select on your team. Just claps every so often.
Okay. I mean, I know he claps like during cutscenes, but just in the overworld, just whenever.
Yeah, he does it in the overworld too.
Because I feel like I didn't notice it until Spooky Trails.
The one bug I had, the only time it really was game breaking is when it shut down on me mid Phantom boss fight.
Oh,
George happened to be in the room, so I mean, we could just attribute this to George's bug luck. But I mean,
I was at Skylar's and we were like, we gotta get to the Phantom, and then Skylar got to the Phantom, and all four of us, well, Skylar, me, and two other people, we're like, yeah, we're like enjoying the music, and then just cut off like.
And it's just like software it can't be played or something. Restart it from the menu and just shut down. So
that's terrible.
I had to redo the boss, but I mean the music's good, so I didn't care. I was willing.
I hit a level breaking bug
where
I had to reset the level or the whole chapter. It was in the lava world, you know, the big pipe maze or whatever.
Yeah.
I went through one of the pipes and collected a treasure, and I went back to the pipe, and it's like, nope, you can't go through this pipe. It's not complete.
Oh.
Yeah, it is. I went through it, and there's nowhere out because there's a 4 square block of space. So I had to restart.
Dang. There are a few bugs.
Another bug I remember is like Beepo kind of clipped through the floor, and we were kind of stuck on this platform. It's like help, like so I had to restart the level, but yeah, and there's like some frame rate issues sometimes, not terrible, and you can enjoy the game mostly, but you could be just walking in the overworld and then suddenly you just freeze and then pop up somewhere else, and so yeah
there's a lot of frame rate issues,
right,
and freezing and stuff.
It needed more time, like you said.
Yeah, I think they wanted to get it out before Odyssey. I think they wanted a Mario game on the Switch as soon as possible.
Well,
no matter something with the Mario name.
Yeah, well, this schedule for games, I mean, this is probably really the only time they could release a game reasonably, because next month is going to be incredibly busy with games and so on.
Well, Nintendo has a big release every single month the rest of this year.
Yeah. So it was a good idea to put it in August, and it's playable, and it's not too much of an issue. But if they could have, it would have been nice to see it go longer. Maybe they could patch it. That'd be nice. I don't know if they will, but here's hoping.
I haven't played it at all. So I can't really offer any of my thoughts, but I'm still very much on the fence about this game just because I haven't seen much of it because I've been so busy the last few weeks. How would you convince me to go pick up this game? Because I am definitely going to pick up Metroid Samus Returns when that comes out in a couple of weeks, but if I had the money to spend on one more game, should I get Mario and Rabbids?
I don't think you need to get it immediately. But I do think that if you want the full Switch experience, this is a game you have to play at least once. Okay.
That's a really nice way to put it, I guess. So I totally should get it then, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you'd enjoy it a lot.
Okay. David, you like strategy games, right? So
yeah, I love strategy games.
I think this is not like oversimplified strategy whatsoever. Yeah, you can get into a rhythm and you can find something that works for you. But there's enough variancy and kind of puzzle solving in the battles that for me each time it's really nice because I think, okay, who am I going to bring into this fight, and also who's good against what. And anyway, I feel like you'd really enjoy this.
Well, then I'll definitely take a look at it.
It's probably my third favorite Switch game out right now.
Yeah?
Yeah. First being Zelda and second being Sonic Mania.
So, what would you guys rate the game if you had to give it a score right now? I know James hasn't finished it yet, but what would you guys rate the game?
I'd give it an 8.
Cool. How about you, Skylar?
I'd give it a solid 9. I really enjoy it.
Yeah?
Maybe 9.2.
Oh, 9.2.
But I really enjoyed this game.
Maybe you guys are gonna laugh at me, but I'm gonna get a 9.5.
Wow.
That's fair, man. It's a really good game.
Honestly, Splatoon I've had a lot of fun with, and it is definitely one of my favorite games. But I feel like this game is the second best Switch game that I've played. I mean,
what? Better than Sonic Mania? Blasphemy!
I know.
Wait, you mean it?
Jordan, we can't be friends.
It has as many bugs as Sonic Mania.
Okay, let's just say they both needed more time in the oven. Leave it at that. No, I say 9.5 because of how much fun I'm having with the game, and it's not. The story obviously is just whatever, but it's purely I enjoy these levels, and I'm just having a blast. So, if this game was like perfectly polished, then I'd probably give it even higher.
Wow.
Yeah, my biggest issue is still the visuals. They look too plastic and I don't know.
I think it's fine.
Corporate safe.
Yeah.
They don't look like they took any risks.
See, oh man, but you guys know with me, like music's a huge part of games, and this game's soundtrack is so good.
Oh yeah,
everything is so
especially
well
almost
thought out.
all the boss fights.
Yeah, the boss music's amazing. The music leading up to the boss fight, if you listen to it, has some kind of rendition of the boss fight's music. It's so good. Like even with the Phantom, they have the Phantom's lines just trickled, little bits here and there.
This is the most rare sounding game since Conker's Bad Fur Day, probably.
I agree.
Huh.
I agree.
That's cool.
100%.
That's cool.
Grant Kirkhope's back.
Oh, it's amazing.
Good. So with an 8, a 9.2, and a 9.5, that gives an average score of 8.9. So a really great game.
I brought it down.
I changed my score to 9.7. I'm just kidding.
I'd like to change my score to 9.5. No.
So let's see if I reflect those changes of a 9.5 from Skylar and a 9.7. That brings it up to a 9.066666. Repeating, of course.
The number of the beast.
Double number. Right. Look what you guys have done.
It's okay. That works. I mean, Rabbids deserves a 9.066. 9.0.
No,
66666.
I think it's a fun game. It's a lot of fun. I really enjoy it. The music's really great. I can't get over the fact that it isn't polished. The art isn't quite there, and I kind of wish there was a bit more variety in the level design. My other big issue, I talked about this last week, we didn't talk about it this week, there isn't enough Mario in a Mario game. I mean that in the sense that every single enemy except for like one is a rabbit. And I wanted to fight Koopas and Boos. I mean, Boos exists, Chain Chomps exist. I think they're the only two that exist as hazard, but they're not even enemies. They're just hazards on the map. And technically, I don't know. I don't want to say anything because James hasn't beaten the game yet. But there's just not enough Mario in a Mario plus Rabbids game. There's too much Rabbids, and the Rabbids, while they tried to make different, kind of all blend to being just the same. Like I honestly forgot some of the classes are different classes from each other halfway through the game, and so it would have been nice to have Goombas and stuff that, you know what, Mario enemies don't need a gun all the time. Just give like the Koopas extra mobility and have them be entirely focused on dealing slide damage.
Yeah, it would have been cool to have those guys. That's for sure. I don't know. Maybe my score's a little too high.
I think that it's great. It's amazing. Like an 8 is still a really high score. I just think there's a large like space for it to like improve upon, maybe in a sequel.
Okay, that makes sense.
That's my line of reasoning. Skylar and James have their own lines of reasoning, and they obviously really enjoyed it. So 2 out of 3. It's a 9-ish game.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, I'm glad that you guys enjoyed it, and I will definitely pick it up when I get around to it. There are just a few more games this year that I want to get, and after paying, rent and tuition and stuff, it's I should
just wait till Black Friday. They'll have something.
All right, I can do that. Cool. Well, thanks for your review, boys. It's good. It was fun listening too. Hey everybody, it's your good friend David. I'm hopping in the middle of the episode just like I normally do, just to give you a few reminders. Again, this commercial break that is set aside for commercials still doesn't have any commercials in it because we're still not sponsored. If you want to help support the show, to help us to continue making the show and improve the quality of the show, be sure to check out our Patreon page at patreon.com/Nintensity. We're putting up the episodes early as a reward for those of you that support us. If you also want to support the show, nothing would mean more than just sharing the show with your friends. Just mention it in passing, show them how to find it, share some show notes on social media, and other such things would be a great way to help get the news of the show out there. We rely mostly on word of mouth and this social sharing in order to promote our show because we don't have the budget to promote it with advertising. We hope to be able to soon, but we've got other costs that we have to take care of first. Speaking of costs, our website, Nintensity.com, is still pushing out news. Really frequently, we go over some of the really big things that are happening, and you can check all of that out by going to Nintensity.com or Nintendo.city. Either one will take you right to the website. We post news, we post the show notes for the podcast and the show. We also post reviews, which we've had a couple go up in the last few days for some indie games, as well as Mario and Rabbids. We do opinion articles every now and then. James and I wrote a couple of articles about the SNES Classic pre-orders and how messy that whole shebang was. So just be sure to check out the website and, take a read through and share some of those articles as well. Any of that type of support means a ton to us and will help us continue to grow and create more content and get even more stuff out to you guys. Be sure to follow us on Facebook and Twitter. They're both at Nintensity. You can even find the Virtual Boys podcast on Twitter. I think it's virtual_boys. You can tweet about the show using hashtag virtualcast. That will show up in my lovely TweetDeck feed, and I can see all of the tweets about the show. So I'd love to hear your thoughts and get some questions and some ideas for future episodes. That's pretty much all that I have. Just one final reminder to go check out patreon.com/Nintensity, where you can just pledge some money a month. That's the easiest way to support us directly, and that money goes to good use, I promise. Anyway, I'll let you get back to this episode. We just finished talking about Mario and Rabbids, and I think we're going to talk about an indie game. Man, it's hard to say Nindy and Nindia. Anyway, I'm going to talk about a game called Use Your Words, and then we'll talk about some memory storage problems on the Switch with required SD cards and other things. Anyway, I'll let you get back to it, so thanks! Before we move on to the SD card controversy thing, I wanted to talk really quick about Use Your Words. It's a game that I got, I think, 2 weeks ago from Smiling Buddha Games. It's a party game where you basically play with your funny friends and your unfunny friends. You literally just all hop on to the game with your smartphone. Yeah, when you start the game, you get a room code. You go to wordsgame.lol and you can just enter the code in. And from there, you get these cool prompts and these cool things on the Switch that, are like, watch this movie and then subtitle it. They're all in like different languages or something. So you come up with something funny and then you end up voting on it to see who the funniest person is. I got to play it with a handful of my family and some neighbors that came over for dinner on Sunday, and we had so much fun that we played it for like 3 hours straight.
Whoa.
Like, it was really, really fun.
So is this sort of like Cards Against Humanity?
Yeah, it kind of is. There's another game that my family kept comparing it to. I can't remember the name of it.
Talking about Jackbox Party Games at all? Because this is... So what I heard about this game is that it's basically one of the games that are included in Jackbox Party Games.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I got this one separate by Smiling Buddha. I know I've seen a game like it somewhere else, but I can't remember what it is. I'd recommend you guys going and watching this. I just wanted to talk about it for a couple of minutes. But the game is rated M because it's got a lot of adult humor jokes in it. There is a family safe feature, but it takes away a lot of the like kind of raunchy content or something. Like, make up a 5-word phrase that would ruin Mother's Day. If you had a room full of adults and one child, you might not want to say some of the funny things. So it keeps a lot of the prompts way more family friendly. Like, what did you get for the 13 things?
Your bed.
Yeah.
Fart jokes.
But I had a ton of fun playing this game. I played it with these family and friends, and we played for a long time. It only supports 6 people playing at once, but other people can join in as spectators and react to some of the funny sayings. Like, you can do an LOL reaction, a gross reaction, and a naughty reaction, I think. And so then at the end of the game, the players that got the most of those types of reactions end up getting trophies. And so it's like an extra bonus on top of being the #1 player. But yeah, we had a ton of fun with it. I'd highly recommend the game. A couple of issues that I had with it is the mobile interface on smartphone is a little tricky. There are 2 buttons along with the text field. One of them is the submit button to send your answer to the servers to then vote for it. And the other one is the house decoy, which if you can't think of anything, you can push that button and it will fill in an answer for you. And if your friends guess it, you get half the points that you would get if you submitted your own answer, but your friends would then lose like 250 points if they voted for that answer. So if you can't think of anything, you can get up some points and you can punish your friends if it's funny enough. But anyway, those 2 buttons are often really close to each other. And so I was thinking that maybe they could then stack the buttons on mobile. So the submit button's up top and you have to scroll down a tiny bit to get to the house decoy, because a couple of the people ended up hitting house decoy on accident after filling in the stuff. Or they could just add a small confirmation page, like, are you sure you want to submit your answer now? But I don't know. Those are really the only criticisms that I had. It was a lot of fun, and we played it for like 3+ hours as one group. So I'd probably end up giving it an 8 out of 10. It's not a perfect game. There were some bugs. The mobile interface could be a little bit better, but it's definitely a great game.
Wait. So mobile interface, is this a Switch game or a mobile game?
It's both, basically. It's a Switch game, so it's all hosted on the Switch, but to play the game, all of your friends connect to a room on their smartphones on the internet.
Okay.
Because it has a lot of text features, and you can have up to 6 people, so you just connect with your phones. The game's played entirely over the internet, so that's another thing. There's no local play. You have to be connected to an internet source as well. So,
I've played a game like this, but it was all done through the internet. Like, it wasn't hosted on a gaming device or anything like that. So for someone who has access to that kind of content online, is it worth it to buy this for my Switch?
Well, it's only $15.
Okay.
I'd say
free though, maybe a version of it. Anyway, keep going.
Right. But, I mean, this one, it connects right up to your TV if you've already got your Switch in, and it's a fun little break from playing, like, Mario Kart or something, if you want to do something to see if you're funny. I don't know how I would recommend it if there's already something like it for free online, but
I guess
it's really fun. The music's cool. The aesthetic is, like, 50s kind of thing. It looks like a lot of drive-in movie theaters with lots of neon lights, and, yeah.
I guess when I think about it, the ones online are more trivia questions based, but this one seems to be more about comedy, like you said. So maybe in that sense, it makes it differentiates. I can't say the word. It's different than the other games.
Yeah, and it's a lot of fun because it's so humor based and not trivia based. You end up getting like these running jokes throughout the game. Like my cousin, she ended up putting I can't remember what the prompt was. It was like a 4-word phrase for I love you or something, and she wrote down dippy dippy chicken strippy or something like that. And we thought that was hilarious. But then, like, everybody else in the room, if they couldn't think of something, they'd do some sort of change on dippy dippy chicken strippy, and it was just a blast. Like, we were all laughing. It was really fun. So I definitely recommend getting this game. I mean, it's not too expensive, and you can have a lot of fun with it with fairly large groups of people.
Cool.
Anyway, like I said before, Use Your Words was provided by Smiling Buddha Games. Thanks for letting us review, and I had a fun time with it. So, let's move on now to the SD card controversy. It's a controversy right now because it's so interesting. So, some of the new games that are coming to the Switch pretty soon will require the use of an SD card. Not only like, you know, to download extra patches or anything, but they literally say on the box, require an SD card. The one game that we know for sure that has this is NBA 2K18. Yeah, it's kind of exciting.
Yeah, so NBA 2K18 is so far the only game to be confirmed to have this so far. It's likely that they just cheaped out and chose not to get the 32 gigabyte cartridge and chose for the 16 gigabyte cartridges instead.
Yeah.
I think this is ridiculous. I think Nintendo should have a strict policy that if there is a cartridge available for you to use to get the entire game onto it, you have to use that.
I agree. It's no... I mean, I guess some people could bring up the argument, but Xenoblade Chronicles lets you do that with external content, but that was an optional thing. The entire game was on the disc, and it was only for performance things. And this isn't a performance issue because the SD card reads pretty fast, but from tests that have been done by some people when the Switch first came out, Nintendo has actually put like some data reading caps on the SD card so that the cartridges are faster.
No, they're not.
Than the SD cards.
No, fastest is on-system memory, second fastest is SD card, and then third fastest is cartridge.
Really? I thought it...
Yeah.
I thought... I must have read that wrong or something.
But they do have a data cap. You are correct on that. The data cap is preventing it from being slower, or preventing it from being faster than the on-system memory.
That's what it was. That's right. Which is a pain in the butt. It's like... I would just put everything on my SD card because I have a fast readable...
The problem is that these games, like this one in particular, is 25 gigabytes. And so if you were to have a, say, I don't know, 256 gigabyte SD card, which is like, what, $50, $70?
About 80, 90.
About 80, 90? That's only 10 games you can have in your library per SD card.
Yeah.
That's painful. And now, our people who want to go physical, they don't even get to do that, really. I don't know. If it was really this big of a problem, I honestly say that if you want a game that requires the SD card, just get the game digitally. At that point, there's no reason going physical anymore.
That's true. I mean, it sucks that it happens, but digital is the only way to go in that case. I mean, it shouldn't be that way, obviously, but... Hey.
It's just kind of weird that they're doing this to the Switch, considering the Switch is 32 gigabytes onboard memory, which is not a ton, and SD cards can get pretty expensive.
That's the other big problem, because this happened the same weekend that Nintendo announced that they have a partnership with SanDisk, and so people are really frustrated now because this was not a good time to announce that partnership.
Right, they should have done it sooner or something.
Sooner or later.
Yeah. Just right around the time of this is bad because they've got, those custom branded SanDisk SD cards, that's got Link on the packaging or Mario on the packaging.
It makes it sound like Nintendo is in the market of trying to sell SD cards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, especially if
it may not be what it is, but it makes it look that way.
I mean, they're like $50 32 gigabyte micro SD cards. That's
they're expensive.
Ridiculous.
They're extorting people, just like the wireless adapter.
Yeah, the wireless adapter is $28.
$28, and it's slower than a $10 one on Amazon.
Yeah, I don't understand why. I mean, I guess I do understand why they do this because they're making money off of it and extorting people, and they can. But Yeah, and then another issue that I have with the SD card thing, heading back there, is the Switch is kind of weird with its memory management. I mean, it's only got 32 gigabytes of internal storage, and, of course you'd expect some of that to be taken by updates, by system memory, by the operating system and all that stuff, so it already eats that up. But then, as soon as you put in a micro SD card, like, the system doesn't ask you, do you want to put everything on the SD card first before we fill up the internal? It automatically starts putting everything on the SD card. Right. So, like, all of the indie games that I've gotten and, like, Sonic Mania and a couple of other things, all that stuff's gone directly onto my SD card, which I don't mind. But for a game that requires an SD card, what if, you get it and you try to start downloading it and, oh, hey, the Switch has been putting everything on the SD card and now I have to transfer it all over. It's just,
it doesn't
it's like an extra
transfer,
step.
by the way. So recently this week I got a different SD card because my other one was just bugged out on me. And I had to re-download every single downloadable game that I had to the new one. And I couldn't transfer anything from my previous SD card to the new one. The Nintendo Switch wouldn't read it.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it's not like the Wii. With the Wii, I could just copy stuff over.
Oh, yeah.
But, I mean, this must be one of the ways that they do to circumvent homebrew through the SD card. Because it was super easy to do on the Wii. So...
I guess so.
But anyway, yeah, I totally understand that frustration. I had to do the same thing, even though I only had, like, one game back when I got my new SD card. I'd thrown in, like, a 4 gigabyte one, and then I got, like, I don't know, 128 gigs or something. But yeah, it's kind of annoying, but I guess that's what we have to deal with. So
yeah, it's a problem. I imagine a year or two down the line, people are going to be really trying to figure out what they're going to do with with no memory. I don't know. I wish this wasn't an issue, but I don't know how to solve it unless Nintendo makes a new Switch and it has a lot more memory in it.
Yeah. Well, they can solve it by requiring 2K games to put it on a 32 gigabyte cartridge.
Yeah, but going on in the future, it's just I mean, if they require that, then that's fine. But in the future, like we're seeing that people are running out of memory already, and having to switch out SD cards and everything. So. But
I just don't understand why they chose to do 32 gigabytes of internal memory instead of like 64 when it's really not that much of a difference in price.
Yeah, that would have been a lot easier or a lot better for the consumer at least.
I mean, it's not a ton. That's still only like because each of these games, each 32 gigabyte game, that only gives you one more game that you can load on internal memory.
Yeah.
It's
just gonna be
a big game anyway.
I guarantee I'm going to have to get an SD card soon, and if I keep getting more games like Sonic Mania that require download or digital only, I'm definitely going to try and stick to physical as much as possible, just because the SD cards just aren't large enough for what I want. I want a large library of games.
Right.
And if I'm doing it digitally, I want the convenience of them all just being there.
But if you had to switch through SD cards, then, you might as well just have cartridges.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Jordan, SanDisk announced this week their biggest micro SD card yet, 400 gigabytes if you're willing to shell out $250 for it. That's crazy. It's more than double the price of a 200 gigabyte SD card. Well, a 200 gigabyte SD card is only $84 for the same brand.
Give it 2 years and it'll be $100.
Oh yeah, it definitely will be.
Roughly every year, SD cards go down like half in value from the new technologies.
And in theory, eventually we'll have the terabyte SD cards available and usable, but
oof, that's a ways away.
Yeah, but apparently the Switch can handle it. Apparently.
Well, there are terabyte SD cards, but they're not micro SD cards.
Yeah.
So.
There just hasn't been a need for a terabyte micro SD card yet.
No. Until the Switch came along. Way to go, Nintendo.
What device requires micro SD cards that needs a terabyte of memory?
I think Skylar's gaming library could Really.
Well, yeah, for the Switch, I think the Switch is the only device that could like justify that.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you take a lot of high-tech photographs, and the people use micro SDs for high-tech photographs, you can fill up a terabyte and it's just real fast.
On what device?
On the high-tech camera.
Why not just use a normal SD?
They use micro SDs.
Well, if they're going to require that much memory, just put in a normal SD.
Yeah, I have a friend who has about 6 terabytes of photos that he's taken over the years just on external hard drives he has to keep backing up.
Yeah, wow.
Just from like a few years of photos.
Future. It's coming.
Future.
I don't have anything else really to talk about the SD card controversy, just that it really kind of sucks.
I just hope just real quick, I hope that it's just NBA 2K18 and not Nintendo pushing all this. But obviously they have
2K
the partnership with SanDisk. But maybe it's just for the heck of it.
The problem is if 2K Games starts doing this with all future Switch games, because if they ever give us a BioShock game, which they probably will never give us a BioShock game, I don't want to have to do this.
Well, could you imagine a game like Metroid Prime 4 when that comes out and having to download that whole thing?
I don't think Nintendo's going to ever do this. I think Nintendo has a bit more class than 2K Games.
Well, they're the ones making the cards too, so I mean...
Yeah.
Also, I have to say, the box art looks ugly for NBA 2K18 because they've had to put that big banner across the top.
Kyrie Irving is a cool guy.
He is a cool guy, but it's like he's squished down a little bit.
He's one of the best NBA players in the league right now.
Who?
Kyrie Irving.
Who?
He's on the box.
Who's he?
They gotta change his jersey because he just got traded to the Celtics.
Oh no!
Yeah, they have to talk. They're talking about changing the box art or something like that. I don't know how they're gonna do it, but I think it's like too late or something.
They didn't know when they were trading their player that they also lost the cover of the.
You ruined everything.
But oh my gosh, no, dude, he looks dank.
Yeah, man.
Swoosh.
Swoosh. To finish up here, since we got like about 10 minutes or so, 2 days ago was actually the 6-month anniversary of the Switch.
Yeah.
It came out 6 months ago, 2 days ago.
6 months anniversary.
6 months anniversary. Let's take a couple of minutes and just talk about how we still feel about the Switch now that it's been 6 whole months and we've had time to really dig into the console. I'll just say mine really simply, I still freaking love my Switch, and it's probably my favorite Nintendo console now, for sure. I wish I could have some virtual console on it, of course, but I absolutely love the thing. So that's pretty much all I got.
It's hands down my favorite Nintendo console already within just 6 months. I was looking at my profile the other day, and it was something around 450 hours I've spent playing my Switch so far.
Wow.
Across games.
Wow.
That's pretty good.
In 6 months, in the first 6 months, nonetheless, on a new system, that's insane.
Yeah.
I wouldn't think I did that with the Wii.
That's 16 whole days.
Yeah.
That's incredible. It's a phenomenal console, for sure. Nintendo did a great job with this one. How about you, Skylar?
I think it's a great console. Oh man, GameCube in this one though. I spent a lot of time with GameCube.
I know, Skylar.
As far as
I was thinking the same thing.
As far as home consoles go, I love the GameCube to death. But this console, like even this past year, we're seeing some really great titles. Even titles that I was skeptic on, Rabbids, are just turning out amazing. Like it's crazy. Probably the only thing that's beat it is probably my handheld games, like DS and Game Boy and stuff, just because Pokemon's there. But other than that,
can I just say real quick that the Switch this year has gotten Zelda, a new Mario game, and the revival of Sonic as well as Splatoon game. Like what launch year has been better for any system? The Wii, I guess, because it got Mario Galaxy, Metroid Prime.
Well, Mario Galaxy didn't come out in the first year.
Yeah.
It kind of did.
It came out 2007.
Yeah, within the
Late
year.
2007.
Within a year span. It was like the 13th month.
Oh yeah, but
Yeah, well, that's really fast. I mean, it got Twilight Princess, it got WarioWare Smooth Moves, it got Wii Play, which drove sales because it came with a freaking Wii Remote, Wii Sports, which was just a fun game because it showed off everything. Yeah, it had a really good launch.
GameStop.
So, how about you, James? Is the Switch your favorite console or no?
So it's hard for me to say that right now, purely because I have too many good memories with the GameCube, and don't get me wrong, I'm enjoying the Switch a lot, but just thinking back to the GameCube and all the games I played on it, mainly, Mario Sunshine, Luigi's Mansion, Wave Race, and all these other games as well. It reminds me a lot of the GameCube and how I felt with the GameCube, and the Wii. I guess I felt this way about the Wii too. I guess you could say. So, out of those, those are like my favorite consoles. But the Switch is doing things that I never thought it would be possible. Being able to play a 3D Zelda game that is, beautiful, and it's an open world adventure. I never thought I'd be able to play that handheld and portable, on the go.
Yeah.
That in itself is what makes the Switch so amazing, and probably by the end of the Switch's life, it probably will be my favorite console. Right now, it's kind of too early for me to say. But I think the more I play it, the more I realize, or the more I think about how the heck did I play games before without having the handheld version of them. Like, it's just like, how did I have time to play these games?
Yeah, one of the big things is with the Switch, one of the reasons why I've been able to play it so much is that I can take it with me to school. And I'll have like a 5-hour break between classes that I can just play some Splatoon or Zelda or something. And sure, I could do that at the 3DS, but it feels different with having the home console experience on the go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. Absolutely. I mean, I don't take my 3DS with me to campus anymore. I take my Switch. It's just what I do.
Yeah. It just depends on what game I'm playing.
Returns comes out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's true.
I'll
bring
probably
my
take
3DS to school during Samus.
Yeah, same.
And then you have Pokemon coming out November.
Yeah.
So those last few games are going to be like 3DS's swan
songs.
Yeah.
See, James, we used the word right this time.
Awesome. I'm so proud of you guys.
We're learning.
When did you guys use it wrong?
I was
like 2 weeks ago or something. I used it wrong.
The Switch, he called it the Switch's swan song or something. And you should go back and listen to it.
Switch ain't dead yet.
Yeah.
But can I say something that we still have questions about the Switch? Virtual Console.
That's true.
Where the heck is that?
Yes.
Yeah.
And then the online, we still don't know what's going on with that. Is this going to be better than the Wii U's online? I mean, so far it looks like it, and let's hope the paid service it gets even better. But that's still up in the air. And then we just talked like 10-20 minutes about it. The SD
storage problems.
Yeah, the storage issues. I mean, it's still a problem, and people are going to start running out of space. I don't know.
That's kind of something I was saying from the beginning, though, is a whole the storage issues that I have with the Switch.
Yeah, you're right. I was kind of a disbeliever because I didn't, at the time, I didn't realize how many games would be coming out. I didn't think we would have,
hit after hit.
Yeah, hit after hit after hit, Nindy after Nindy.
And it seems like third parties are jumping left and right onto it. I mean, we're getting No More Heroes again.
We're getting a new Super Meat Boy.
A new Super Meat Boy.
Yeah.
Lots of good stuff.
The Mario and Rabbids game that just came out.
We have
Breath
all
of the Wild.
We have all these
Mario
games,
Odyssey.
and some of them are,
Those are first party games, guys.
Yeah, but they're gonna be good.
Yeah, but they're freaking good.
They vary if they vary in size, but they all add up after a while, and a year or two. What are we gonna do? I guess buy a new SD card and switch them out. I mean, that's such a hassle. First world problems, but
re-download all your stuff again.
This is definitely the largest library I've had within the first 6 months of a new console release.
I agree, yeah.
Which is pretty amazing.
Yeah, I mean, I have 7 or 8 physical games in my Switch case already. And then I have a whole bunch of games that are downloaded.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love the Switch. And we'll definitely continue to talk about it because we are a Nintendo podcast. So, anyway. I think that'll do it for this week's episode of the Virtual Boys podcast. Thanks so much for tuning in. Just listening, and joining with us this episode sure does mean a ton. Thanks for your support.
We also like to thank Skylar for all the music that he does. He does the intro and outro for us, and please give him a listen to on his SoundCloud at Skytar. Or not at Skytar, but it is Skytar with a 5. You should listen to it. Do it!
And I'd like to shout out to our patrons, Chris and Chase. Your support means a ton. If you want to join them, go to patreon.com/NintenCity. Remember, the episodes go up early as a reward for those that support us.
And I'd like to invite you to join our Discord community. We're trying to set up a fun place for people to visit and hang out. We talked a bit about Splatoon this past week and the Splatfest that happened.
Yep.
Head to nintendo.city/Discord to join us today.
And thank you so much for tuning into the Virtual Boys podcast this week. Don't forget to subscribe and rate us on iTunes. And we'd like to remind you to check out our website at nintendcity.com, where you can find news, show notes, and much more. This week's show notes are going to be available at nintend.city/EP67. Thanks for joining us, and we'll catch you next time.
Bye.
See ya.
Goodbye, you good people. Bye.